Many men grow up believing that attraction has an expiration date. They're taught, directly or indirectly, that youth is the high point and everything after is a slow loss of value. So they resist time, they hide it, they apologize for it, they try to outrun it. But when you look at attraction through the lens of how women actually experience it, a very different truth appears. Attraction doesn't disappear with age, it changes shape. It becomes quieter, steadier, and more meaningful. What time adds is depth, and depth changes everything. As men mature, something important becomes possible. You begin to carry yourself with less urgency. You stop trying to impress and start showing up as you are. That shift alone alters how people feel around you. Presence replaces performance, calm replaces effort. And presence, more than looks or youth, is one of the most powerful forms of attraction a man can develop. Being attractive as you get older isn't about competing with younger men or chasing an image you've outgrown. It's about owning your story and standing comfortably inside it. Many women are far less focused on perfection than men assume. They respond more strongly to emotional stability, grounded confidence, and the energy a man brings into a space. These qualities signal safety, maturity, and reliability. They are felt before they are analyzed. And they are often strongest in men who have lived, learned, and integrated their experiences instead of trying to erase them. One of the earliest signs of this quiet attractiveness shows up in eye contact. A younger woman meets your gaze, holds it just a moment longer than usual, then looks away. To many men, this feels confusing. Some read it as discomfort, others panic and avoid eye contact altogether, afraid of being intrusive. And some push too hard, holding the gaze until curiosity turns into pressure. But psychologically, that brief exchange often signals interest mixed with awareness and respect. She noticed you, something registered, and she created space. This is where maturity becomes an advantage. When you don't rush to fill that space, when you stay relaxed and grounded, you communicate confidence without effort. There's no hunger in it. No need to chase the moment. That restraint feels safe. It feels controlled, and safety is deeply attractive. The same calm eye contact that creates attraction also signals leadership and steadiness in everyday life. It shows you're comfortable holding space without forcing anything to happen. Another shift happens in how people describe you. Instead of being called cute or boyish, you're described as distinguished. That word isn't about fashion or genetics. It reflects composure, self-knowledge, and emotional maturity. Cute fades quickly. Handsome can be surface level, but distinguished suggests depth. It implies that you're settled in yourself. You're not trying to prove anything. You're not chasing approval. And that lack of striving is felt immediately. From a psychological perspective, this quality makes people feel at ease around you. A distinguished man feels predictable in the best sense of the word. His reactions are measured, his energy is consistent. Women often interpret this as emotional safety, which allows attraction to grow without anxiety. This kind of appeal doesn't peak early and vanish. It strengthens over time because it's built on who you are, not on how you look in a single moment. There's also a visible difference between men who fight aging and men who grow into it. Some try to erase every sign of time, believing wrinkles or gray hair reduce their value. But men who truly stand out do something else. They integrate aging into their identity. Their face reflects experience, challenges faced, and lessons learned. Instead of insecurity, there's acceptance, and acceptance carries weight. Women are especially sensitive to this. They can feel the contrast between a man who is uncomfortable with himself and one who is at peace. The second doesn't enter a room trying to earn respect. He arrives already aligned. That inner calm changes how others respond. You don't need to announce who you are when your presence already communicates it. Attraction also reveals itself through subtle, often unconscious behaviors. When you enter a room and a woman adjusts her hair, touches her neck, or becomes momentarily aware of her posture, that's not a scripted signal, it's a reflex. Her body noticed you before her mind did. This doesn't mean expectation or intention. It means impact. You registered. What matters most is how you respond. Many men react immediately. They shift their behavior. They try to capitalize on the moment. But the most attractive response is remaining exactly as you were. Calm, centered, unchanged. That steadiness tells the nervous system of others that attention doesn't destabilize you. Emotional consistency like this improves not just romantic interactions, but all social dynamics. As you continue to age with intention, you may also notice something else. When you enter a space, the energy subtly changes. Conversations pause for a beat. Attention reorients. There's a moment of quiet that isn't awkward, just noticeable. This isn't dominance and it isn't invisibility, it's presence. Psychologically, the group is recalibrating around a new, steady energy. Your nervous system is regulated enough that it influences the room. Women, in particular, respond strongly to this kind of emotional gravity. A man who doesn't rush to assert himself feels reliable. He feels contained. He feels safe to be around. This isn't about control. It's about coherence. And coherence becomes more visible as you gain life experience and learn to trust yourself. This is only the beginning of how attraction evolves with age. In the next part, we'll explore how this inner stability affects perception, respect, and the way others project confidence and success onto you, often before you say a single word. As men become more settled within themselves, something interesting happens in the way others perceive them. People often assume competence, stability, or success before any conversation even begins. This isn't because of what you say or what you own. It's because of how you move through the world. Your pace is unhurried. Your posture is relaxed but contained. Your expressions are measured. Psychologically, this creates a sense of quiet authority. Others instinctively fill in the blanks with positive assumptions. Insecure men feel pressure to explain themselves. They list achievements, justify choices, or talk too much in an attempt to be understood. But a man who is internally aligned doesn't need to broadcast anything. His silence isn't empty. It's grounded. Women often interpret this as emotional stability and reliability. Other men interpret it as leadership. What's important to understand is that this perception doesn't depend on wealth, status, or titles. It comes from self-trust. When you're comfortable with who you are, you don't need to convince anyone. Another subtle but powerful signal shows up in how you dress. Many men confuse style with effort. They add more layers, louder colors, or trend-driven pieces, hoping to stand out. But refined style is rooted in restraint, clean lines, proper fit, quality materials. When you wear simplicity well, it communicates clarity. It signals self-respect rather than a need for attention. Psychologically, simplicity reads as confidence because it suggests you don't rely on external validation to feel complete. Women often read this as emotional maturity. Men read it as self-command. And unlike trends, this kind of style doesn't age out. It matures with you. It evolves naturally as your life evolves. It becomes an extension of your inner state, rather than a costume you put on to be noticed. There's also an important sign that many men overlook because they're too focused on female attention: respect from other men. When other men acknowledge your presence, mirror your calm, or subtly defer to you, it's not about dominance or competition. It's about coherence. They sense that you're not trying to climb the hierarchy or prove superiority. You're stable where you stand. Ironically, that's what places you above the noise. Psychologically, women instinctively trust men who are respected by other men. This creates a form of social proof that words can't replace. It's quiet, but it's powerful. It reinforces the perception that you're reliable, grounded, and emotionally safe. These signals work together, reinforcing one another without effort. At this stage of life, attraction becomes less about grabbing attention and more about holding it. You're no longer chasing moments. You're creating an atmosphere. Your presence slows things down. Your responses are thoughtful. You don't rush to fill silence because silence doesn't make you uncomfortable. In fact, it works in your favor. Silence allows others to feel you more clearly. From a health and psychological standpoint, this calm presence is often linked to better emotional regulation. Men who manage stress well, who sleep adequately, who have learned from past mistakes, tend to carry themselves differently. Their nervous system is more balanced. Their reactions are less reactive. This doesn't just improve attraction, it improves overall well-being, relationships, and longevity. Emotional stability reduces chronic stress, which benefits heart health, immune function, and mental clarity over time. This is why aging well isn't about erasing the past, it's about integrating it. Every challenge you've faced, every failure you've survived, every lesson you've absorbed contributes to the steadiness others now feel around you. That steadiness becomes trust, and trust is one of the strongest foundations for attraction that lasts. In the final part, we'll bring these elements together and explore why true attractiveness deepens with time, how self-acceptance transforms desire into connection, and why men who stop chasing validation often become the most compelling presence in the room. The culmination of all these qualities creates a form of attraction that doesn't fade. It deepens. Men who age well, who integrate experience into their identity, don't need to chase attention or prove themselves. Their attractiveness emerges naturally from how they carry their history, their calm energy, and their emotional stability. Every movement, every glance, every pause communicates the same message. They are grounded, present, and complete within themselves. And that completeness is magnetic. When you've learned to navigate life with self-awareness, the way you move in the world changes. You no longer react out of insecurity. You don't rush to fill silence, dominate conversations, or chase validation. Instead, you hold space with quiet authority. People feel it immediately. Women respond unconsciously, recognizing reliability, strength, and emotional safety. Other men respond as well, often subtly, with respect that doesn't need to be demanded. This dual recognition, social proof, and intuitive attraction is what makes your presence so compelling. A man who embraces aging with confidence also communicates it through subtle visual and behavioral cues. He doesn't need elaborate gestures to signal value. Simple, deliberate movements, clean style, and calm eye contact convey power without effort. Women notice the understated attention they receive. A slight adjustment of hair or posture, a brief moment of observation, is a subconscious acknowledgement of impact. And because the man doesn't overreact, the interaction feels effortless, safe, and attractive. Attraction in this sense isn't about the fleeting appeal of youth. It's about depth, reliability, and self-possession. Your face, your voice, your movements, even your energy reflect years of lessons learned, challenges overcome, and experiences integrated. That reflection resonates with people on a level that superficial traits never can. Women are drawn not to perfection, but to a man who is emotionally available, stable, and secure in himself. Men are respected not for what they display, but for who they are inside and how they carry themselves. This is why emotional gravity is so powerful. It communicates calm, competence, and reliability without words. It shows that attention, whether from women or peers, doesn't destabilize you. It shows that you're aligned internally and externally, and alignment breeds trust, which is the cornerstone of lasting attraction. When a man operates from this place, attraction evolves from fleeting interest into genuine desire, not just romantic curiosity, but lasting admiration and connection. Aging, therefore, is not a decline. It is an accumulation of value. The experiences you've endured, the wisdom you've gained, and the inner peace you cultivate all contribute to a form of attractiveness that is not only magnetic, but enduring. It's subtle, layered, and far more compelling than the temporary allure of youth. Men who understand this don't fight time. They honor it, integrate it, and allow it to enhance their presence. If you find yourself resonating with these qualities, it's important to understand that this is more than aging gracefully. It's becoming increasingly grounded, emotionally steady, and socially coherent in a way that enhances attraction naturally. You are not simply surviving life's challenges. You are using them to grow into someone others feel drawn to, respected by, and safe around. This is the essence of mature masculinity: confidence without arrogance, calm without detachment, and presence without effort. True attractiveness comes from integration, self-acceptance, and emotional stability. It comes from learning to move through the world without neediness, without force, and without trying to prove yourself. A man who achieves this doesn't just attract interest, he creates desire that lasts. The kind of desire rooted in respect, trust, and deep psychological resonance. That's why women are drawn to distinguished men, why other men respect them, and why presence becomes the most powerful tool in any interaction. Ultimately, attraction isn't measured by how young you appear, but by how fully you inhabit yourself. The lessons you've lived, the calmness you exude, and the depth you carry quietly announce that you are someone worth noticing. The more you embrace this, the more your life, relationships, and social interactions reflect the magnetic energy of a man at peace with himself. Age doesn't subtract from attraction. It layers it, deepens it, and transforms it into a power that youth alone can never achieve. If you recognized yourself in any of these insights, it's a sign that you are not just aging, you are evolving into a man whose presence, composure, and inner clarity naturally generate respect, trust, and attraction. By focusing on alignment rather than appearance, on emotional stability rather than validation, and on integration rather than denial, you create a lasting impact that resonates far beyond the superficial. This is the art of becoming distinguished, grounded, and truly magnetic, a state that grows stronger with every year lived. The key takeaway is simple but profound. Work on yourself from the inside out. Cultivate calm, presence, and clarity. Honor your experiences and integrate them into your identity. Stand confidently in your own energy and let the world adjust to you. That is how mature masculinity creates real, lasting attraction. Not through tricks, performances, or youth, but through the natural power of a life well lived. Your age is not a limitation, it's your advantage. Your depth is your charm, your presence is your influence. And as you continue to grow, the way people respond to you will reflect not only your physical self, but the wisdom, calm, and coherence that only time can bring. This is the secret of authentic, enduring attraction.